Hi guys, so today I finally have my Accutane journey experience video, which I wanted to film for a very long time. I just wanted to wait until I'd been off it. So I've actually been off Accutane for 4 weeks now, and I actually left it 4 weeks just because 4 weeks is when it's then out of your system. It takes that long for it to get out of your system, and I wanted to wait until then just in case I had a breakout or anything, because I don't want to kind of be like, yeah, my skin's perfect, and then like I break out the next day. So this video is going to be maybe a little bit long, but it's been requested so much after I put my Accutane makeup routine on and my skincare routine with Accutane on. Also, a disclaimer before I start, Accutane is a very strong medication for acne. It's the strongest you can go on. It's not just available over the counter, you have to go through a lot to go on it. I'm going to tell you a bit about my skin, what Accutane is in general, how it works, and then I'll go through my Accutane journey, the results, the side effects, how I dealt with them all. I'm going to try and tell you everything that I feel like you need to know. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and leave any questions down below if you have any that aren't answered by the end of this video. I'm going to try and be as in-depth as possible without being boring. I'll start off by saying my skin is clear. My skin, you probably tell by the thumbnail, or I'll put some photos here. My skin was bad. I had acne, and now it's completely clear. I do not have a single spot on my face, and I have so much more confidence. A bit of background on my skin. So I first started getting bad skin in year 7. So for anybody that doesn't understand that, if anyone's from a different country, you are age 11 when you start year 7. It was my first year of secondary school, and my skin from then on, and it got worse and worse. Sometimes it got a little bit better, and it was acne. I went to the doctors and it was acne. So I had a mixture of different spots. I had loads of, I'd get like the regular red spots, but then I also had a lot of underskin spots that just would never leave my face. Obviously the red ones were kind of like go from place to place, but I always had under the skin spots. My skin never looked even, and I just wouldn't leave the house without makeup on. I couldn't do it. Even when I had makeup on, sometimes I just didn't want to leave, and it just makes you feel really bad. And I don't want to go into detail. If you want like a full like my acne story, then I'll do one. I started from year 7 using topical treatments from what you'd get from the drugstore. Sometimes it would help calm them down, but it would always come back and it was never fully gone. I then went to the doctors and they started to prescribe me topical treatments. I had good and bad experiences with that. Good, it sometimes clear it up, but it'd come back. Bad as in like it would just burn my face and make it even worse. I then, from year 9 I think, so I was about 13 or 14, I started on my first prescription from the doctors. It's obviously a lot weaker, and so this is like the first time in quite a long time, in years now, that I've actually not been on any medication. I think I was on 4 different types and none of them worked for me. So I tried a lot of different things, and I tried changing my diet as well. It just had no effect whatsoever. So the last result was Accutane. So like I said, Accutane is just a tablet, and you take however many your dosages a day. Every time I went, I would get it explained to me, but I don't really want to say it if I'm not saying it properly, so I'm not going to exactly explain what it does, but obviously it gets rid of acne. It reduces the amount of oil that your body produces. You start off with 20 mg a day, and that's what everybody's started off on. On your first appointment they weigh you, and I think I have my discharge letter here, so it's 120 mg per kilogram that you weigh. So by that they do obviously all the maths, and they give you a magic number. That's what my doctor called it, and basically you need to hit this number, you need to hit that amount of mg before you can come off it. And they normally make you go over it because nothing's going to go wrong if you go over it. It doesn't matter if you go over it, they just rather you go over it, because then if you go over this number, the likelihood of you breaking out again or having another acne flare is less likely. Whereas if you stop under the dosage, then it's probably going to come back. You won't have run your course. So I don't actually know what my magic number, I keep saying magic number, no one else probably calls it that, but my like target number, I don't know what it was, but I had a cumulative dose of 7,560 mg, which was way over what I needed. it says this is above the required amount, so I would say mine was about 7,000 maybe. I don't know my weight either to kind of work it out for you, but basically I did go over, which I think's helped. Also, if you get along with that dose, you will probably get asked if you want to higher that dose. Then you'll kind of, obviously if you're having higher dosage a day, then you're going to get it done quicker, you're going to be off it quicker. I think the most you can have is 60 mg, so it ranges from 20 to 60. But I stayed on 20 the whole entire time. That was a choice by myself and my mum and the doctor as well, because throughout it there was times where my side effects got really bad, and I honestly think obviously the more you're having each day, the worse your side effects are going to get. People don't get certain side effects as bad as others. I personally could not have done more a day. I wouldn't have been able to stay on it for the whole time. So yeah, that is how it works. I hope that makes sense. It's quite confusing. Before I would go back and get more prescription, I would have to go for a blood test. They need to check your blood test. So other than that, that's kind of all the medical side. I started Accutane on the 16th, I'm going to say, of August last year, and I came off it 14 months later. So I was on it for a long time. When I first went off it, when I first went on it, they said I was going to be on it for 6 months. But obviously I didn't up my dosage, so that led to me being on for 14 months, which is crazy. And yeah, so when I first went on it, the first side effect that I got was the initial breakout and dry skin. So when you first start, they say that you're probably going to break out and your skin's probably going to get worse because it's going to be getting rid of all of the dirt and stuff underneath your skin, just getting it out. That's fine. I didn't mind that as long as I wasn't going to get one again. However, these were big spots that like I had never experienced before. They were massive and they were like, it hurt, they were painful, and my skin looked so much worse for so long. So that was fine. It wasn't really fine actually, didn't like it at all. It sucked. So that lasted for a couple of months for me. Obviously after the first month was the worst, and then it kind of got better, but you do have a stage where it all comes out, which I think's pretty good because it's not good, like I didn't enjoy it, but the kind of, if you're really thinking about it, you're thinking this is absolutely getting rid of everything. Its most common side effect is dry lips, and I had my fair share of dry lips, and just, I had lip problems like nothing I've ever experienced before. This is probably the main side effect, and I have friends that went on it and they would just literally get dry lips, and I wish that was my case, but obviously I'm going to kind of let you know what my deal with my lips was. So when I first went on it, of course immediately my lips went dry, and they said just to use something that's like oily, like Vaseline, anything like that, which is what I did, and it was fine for a while. And I don't really know how it came about. It happened very quickly. My lips began to get sore because of obviously the Accutane, and remember this was coming up to, I think it's around this time last year, so obviously lips do get dry in the winter anyway. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and I could not speak. My lips were on fire, they were red hot. I had to get a cold, I woke my mum up at like 2 AM, I had to get a cold flannel and just lay it on my lips, and it just wasn't helping, they were burning. So obviously in the morning we rang the doctors up, and my mum booked me in, but I had to go to school before them. Amazing. And basically, as well as this, because they were so sensitive, they had managed to get infected as well. When I then got up later on in that morning when you're supposed to wake up, my lips were swollen. I'll insert a picture here. It looked like I'd had lip fillers gone wrong, and they were like that. And then they were fine, and then they got infected, which sounds gross, but basically it spread all around here. Really, really sore. So my mum booked me in for a doctor's appointment, and that day at school was awful. It was back to square one. I was covering my face when I spoke to people like I had been when I had spots. It was awful. So then I went doctors that day. She gave me some Steroid Cream, I think it was. It was really strong cream, and it eventually got rid of the thing that's going around. It was so bad. I'll insert some footage. It looked disgusting, it was painful. My mum picked me up from the school before I went to the doctor and she kind of said, look, if this is what it's going to be like and they say that they can't really do anything about it, like, you're off. It was, I don't want to go to school, I don't leave the house, crying. You just felt rubbish because, again, it was like it's right there and you know people are going to look and no one's going to judge, but you're going to judge yourself, and it was a self-confidence thing. This is where it goes a little bit better. At this point, everything else was also drying out, so the rest of my body, it was just all feeling very dry. So on my face I would use the Cetaphil moisturising cream, amazing, and for my body I just use E45, very, very simple. And also your skincare routine gets very, very simple. I was taking my makeup off with Garnier micellar water and cleansing it with the Garnier micellar cleanser wash. Really, really simple. My friend then started Accutane and she said to me that she'd been given this lip balm cream from her doctor, but the next time I went to the hospital for my next kind of prescription, I said, look, my friend's on something called Hydromol, and this is absolute miracle cream. I've never known anything like it. It's crazy. So I now have about 5 pots of the little ones, they're not even that little, and I have a massive pot here. It's ointment. It is incredible. Anybody that's on Accutane, you need to get this. Don't get it on your clothes because I ruined a Zara dress with it. It's so greasy, grease doesn't come out, and yeah. But if you can get your hands on that, it is a lifesaver. I could not have done Accutane without it. Without that, I would not have finished my course, 100%. I thought I would just pop in now a good side effect. This decrease in oils means that your hair doesn't get greasy. That is probably the only positive side effect, but it's a pretty good one. Obviously you do have to wash it. I was washing my hair still, but it didn't get greasy, which is like every girl's dream. Most people that have acne probably have oily skin, because you just do it, and mine was so oily. However, going on the other end of the spectrum, you can't win. It got so dry, especially in the winter, that foundations would just flake off. It just looked all scaly and flaky, and it was hard. However, when I kind of found a balance and found the perfect kind of moisturisers and stuff, my makeup would stay on for longer because my skin wasn't going oily. And yeah, I won't have to use like mattifying powder. Also, a problem that I had kind of in the middle of my course, I started to get loads of bumps around here and here, like under the skin bumps, and I was like, here we go again. Under skin spots are back. I had loads of research and basically it was just dead skin. So I brought really small like that skin exfoliators and just kind of exfoliated my face very gently once a week, and it got rid of them. I was on for winter and summer, so I got the worst of both worlds. But if you're on in the winter, your skin gets dry anyway in the winter. In the summer you can't really be in the sun as much as you'd like to be. You really can't win. Also, the inside of my nose would get dry at times and I'd have nosebleeds. This was actually near the beginning. I would have quite a lot of nosebleeds, and this kind of, I got used to it and I didn't, and near the end I did not have any nosebleeds at all. But there was a point when I was on it that I was having a lot of nosebleeds. Luckily I am not. Luckily I didn't have them again near the end. Also my armpits got really, really dry at one point and painful. I personally, from my experience, I think the most sensitive, it makes sense to be right fair, it's not like I've came up with this, the most sensitive parts of your body do react. The most final side effect in which I had, which was joint pain, particularly in my back and my knees. I didn't have it severely, but like I definitely noticed because I dance and I've never really struggled from joint pain in my knees and my back before. It dries your joints out too. Like I said, it's drying you from the inside out. You've got to take care of your inside too. I never really kind of took anything to, because it wasn't that severe, but I definitely noticed like they would dry and they would hurt a lot more. But it wasn't that severe, but it was something that I definitely experienced, so I just thought I'd put that in there, especially back. I think back was the worst. These side effects go, they don't stay with you for life, maybe in the rarest of rare, but they don't stay with you, they go, and you just have to kind of put up with them for a bit afterwards. So that is everything really with my Accutane journey. They're all my side effects. and stuff like that. So I think the worst part was definitely the beginning. I think if you can get through the first couple of months, you'll be fine. The first couple of months were hell for me. I had so many second thoughts. So overall, Accutane has done its job. I'm over the moon with it. I feel so confident. One of the kind of big things was after my initial breakout and my skin kind of started to get clear, I still had some spots. I can remember going into the bathroom one morning, I washed my face and I looked in the mirror, and honestly I felt like I was in like an acne advert. You know, the ones where they just wash it and then they've got really, really clear skin, and it sounds so like, yeah, just can't stop smiling. I think the fact that I could leave the house, look in the mirror and absolutely feel okay because your skin looks fine, that's what I'm happy about. Since being off Accutane, I've not broken out again. I'm super happy with the result. I hope this video's been helpful. I've basically tried to put in all of the information that I would have loved to have before I started Accutane. Also, if there's anything else that you want to know about it, again, leave any comments down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.